All right, what's going on, y'all? So I was watching the press conference between Vladimir Klitschko and Tyson Fury the other day, and I thought it was pretty good. I expected what everything that happened. I knew Tyson was gonna do his talking, like he usually does, and Vlad keeps it professional all the time. He's suited up, clean cut, very professional. Didn't do too much talking. Okay. Um, um, it doesn't really, Tyson Fury, just watching this really didn't make me feel any kind of way about it, because both of them did what was expected of them. Uh, Tyson Fury, the guy that is younger, least experienced, um, I can't get a read on him is whether or not if he's nervous or if he's intimidated by Vlad. I didn't see that in him. Okay, there was a point where, like I said, Vlad didn't do too much talking. Where Tyson Fury was just pretty much breaking Klitschko down. Of all the other fighters, other great heavyweights. How he is just, he holds guys and he's fighting smaller guys and he's just pretty much breaking down his style. He was just breaking Klitschko down, and Klitschko was just sitting there, like nodding, like okay, you got me, you know it all type of way, and I don't know, I really don't see any real animosity. I don't. Klitschko's demeanor is like this is just another fight for me. Like there's nothing that Tyson Fury brings to the table to me. That's just how I look at it with Klitschko. I do think this is a tougher fight. I think this is a fight that Vlad could lose. Could lose. I think Vlad is going to win the fight, but I think this is a fight that he could lose, depending if it goes a certain way, especially if it goes 12 rounds. I think this is a fight that Vlad's gonna have a tough time winning. Could have a tough time winning. Um, Based on what we see on paper, And I don't know if Tyson's gonna be able to get to Vlad by his words. I don't think he could because Klitschko is just he has too much experience and he he has the same body language for every single one of these fights. And Fury does the same thing with every one of his fights too. Only time I thought Fury looked uncomfortable is when he was at the weigh-in against Alexander Ustinov, and that's the only time I've ever seen him look like you know Ustinov was like huge and he was in shape. That's probably the best shape. And then we all started wondering, like I made a video on that. Was this a setup? Like did Derek Chisora pull out of this fight? Because you just we that's what we were talking about at the time. And one thing I did notice too, I was looking at Tyson at the presser, and he looks to be still in shape. I've been paying attention to him, and he's been doing all right with his weight. He's been doing pretty good. I think it was that fight against was it Joey Abel where he looked kind of like he looked pretty sloppy in that fight. I think it's when uh what's this guy David Hay pulled out the second time. I think that's when Tyson looked a little out of shape when he got into his next fight. But ever since then, his last couple fights is against Christian Hammer and Derek Chisora rematch. He's been cutting down a little bit with the weight, and where he's at right now, he looks like of course he's gonna get fit and train for this fight, but he doesn't look like he needs to get in shape before getting in shape, in boxing shape. He doesn't look like he needs to cut a whole lot of pounds off. He looks actually pretty decent. He looks pretty strong. It looks like he's been working out. Um, so that is a good thing. That is a good thing. As far as them standing and facing each other at the face off, the size really doesn't look that different. It's not a big difference. Like I know Tyson's like a couple inches taller, but it doesn't really seem like this. Especially when they're actually at the weigh-in. I'm pretty sure when they're at the weigh-in, you see how chiseled Klitschko looks compared to Tyson. And since he's not that much shorter, you're going to see there, like, all right, you got to understand, Tyson is a bigger guy, but you got to understand Tyson's not usually fighting guys that big neither. He's really not used to fighting guys that big. Yeah, I can't really think. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys are watching, maybe able to bring up a professional fight where he fought a really big guy. But even if he did, none of them was really that great of a fighter, So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out because there's so much to really learn about Tyson Fury at this point. We see Klitschko in there with all kind of guys. We see Klitschko in there with all kind of guys. I'm very interested to see how this plays out with Tyson Fury finding a guy that's also big, that has more power to him. It's more powerful to him. But it's also interested to see what Klitschko does to a guy that he might have to engage with, and he might have to close the distance on because the guy's taller and has a longer reach and has a great jab and has a higher volume at them, and he can switch stances. The guy could fight southpaw, orthodox. He could switch it up any way he want. Tyson Fury is an all-around good fighter. It's just what he lacks so far right now is the experience. And you get in the ring with Klitschko, we really don't know. You never been on this stage before. Maybe be able to pull it off. Maybe he could get the knockout. We know Klitschko's doesn't have a great chin, but neither does Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury's never been hit by a guy like Vladimir Klitschko. Okay, so this is a very good matchup. Both very dangerous fight for both of these guys. I'm still leaning towards Klitschko. I still lean. I think the left hook is going to be the punch to do it. I've seen Tyson get countered. I've seen Tyson get hit, even when he's dominated. I've seen guys catch him with some good shots. This is a fight where Tyson is not going to be able to kid around like he does some in his most recent fights. He just, I feel like I never see Tyson at his absolute best because he's always so dominant in his fights. He has his moments. He's been knocked down. We know that, but it's time you got to fight serious from the open bell. You're going to learn a lot about Tyson Fury in this fight. We really are. And, we know what Klitschko was bringing, but Tyson definitely on paper have the tools to be able to beat a guy like Vladimir Klitschko. It's whether or not is he going to do it, So anyway, that's it. That's just my thoughts on the presser. It was pretty, cool to watch. Nothing crazy, It was still some mutual respect there, even though Tyson was doing a lot of talking. And I see Tyson, I follow him on Twitter, and I see him doing his little, he's been doing his little tweets and stuff like that. But it's not gonna phase Klitschko, I don't think he needs to spend too much energy with just trying to get under Klitschko's skin because I really don't think it's gonna work. I really don't think. Unless he's gonna put hands on Klitschko at a presser before a fight or something before the fight, like Chisora did against his brother. I really don't think it's gonna really get under Klitschko's skin by some words because Klitschko's been there. He's been in fights where guys said stuff and whatever. He's very professional at the end of the day. He likes to keep it that way. All right, so that's my thoughts on the presser, and make sure you guys hit subscribe.